All right, so here's my business casual. I got a polo on, got some dress pants on. That's the best I can really do. I don't have a suit. I hope this is okay. Start on my portfolio now. Let me pull it up for you. Okay. So we're going to start out with my pre-professional profile. My name is Chase Plamill. I grew up in a small town called Boonville, Arkansas. I was raised in a close family that valued hard work and kindness to others. As a kid, I used to love spending time with friends and hanging out outside. I really enjoyed learning new things, especially when a teacher made it fun to learn. Before deciding I wanted to become a teacher, I was a full time butcher and wanted to go to school for heavy machinery, be a construction worker. But that all changed when my Nana was telling me how good I would be with kids and wanted me to coach a football team. I thought about it long and hard, but I'm here to pursue my education degree at UFIS. My post professional profile is my teaching philosophy. I want to be a teacher because I care about kids and want to help them grow. I believe every student can learn if they feel safe, supported, and encouraged. This is really important because not a lot of places nowadays kids feel safe, supported, or encouraged. I think this is a big part of my philosophy. Learning should be fun, hands on, and connected to real life, not just memorizing stuff. Memorizing stuff just takes away the purpose and it makes it boring, and no one wants to learn if you got to memorize everything. As a future teacher, I want to encourage curiosity and help students develop the skills that they need to succeed in school and in life. Moving on to some assessment examples. My pre assessment would be the KWL chart. Like KWL stands for know, what to know, and learned. Uh, these are good because it helps guide your planning and it tells you what to teach and how to teach it. Like, so for example, the weather, rain comes from clouds, the sun is a star. We know that, but sometimes, what if a kid wants to know how does hail form? We would learn about that and then learn that the sun warms the land. And another assessment example would be a formative assessment I would use in exit ticket. I would use to check student understanding while I'm teaching and making sure they are not falling behind. My final and last assessment example would be the summative assessment. It would be a post-test review. This would just pretty much be sure that I would use this to measure what my students have learned at the end of each lesson. It would help me decide if I need to go over it more or my teaching was a success overall. Onto my speech to text tools. I have three. The first one would be Google Docs voice typing. Google Docs provides a built-in voice typing feature that allows students to speak into a microphone while the program transcribes their speech into written text. The rationale is helpful for students who struggle with fine motor skills or even kids having trouble writing. It allows students to focus on other things rather than writing. This is an InTAS Standard 2 learning difference. My next one would be Microsoft Dictation. This is Microsoft Word and Windows have built-in features that convert speech into written text. The rationale is students with learning disabilities can complete writing assignments more efficiently. It also increases independence and reduces frustration. This is an in-task standard 3 learning environments. My third and final one would be Dragon Naturally Speaking. Dragon is an advanced, highly accurate speech to text software that applies to a user's voice patterns over time. Rational Dragon is ideal for students who require long-term assistive technologies. It is especially beneficial for students with physical disabilities. This is InTAS Student 8, Instructional Strategies. Moving on to the text-to-speech tools. I have three of these as well, and my first one is Read and Write for Google Chrome. This Chrome extension reads digital text out loud, highlights the words as it reads, and includes built-in dictionaries and vocabulary tools. The rationale is Read and Write supports students with reading disabilities, dyslexia, and students learning the English language by helping them access grade-level text without being limited by decoding difficulties. This is an INTAS Standard 5 application of content. My second one would be Natural Reader. This is a text-to-speech software that reads web pages, Google Docs, PDFs, and scanned images aloud. The rationale is that this tool increases comprehension by pairing visual and audio output. It helps a struggling reader, blind students, and students who can't focus. This is an INTAS Standard 2 learning differences. My third and final one, which is I feel like the most convenient and my favorite one, is Apple Speak Screen. This is a built-in iPad feature that allows students to swipe down with 2 fingers and have the device read it for you. Rationale, because it is built into all Apple devices, this tool is easily accessible and requires no additional downloads. This is an INTAS Standard 3 learning environment. Moving on to some additional assistive technology for teachers. I have 3 examples of these as well. My first one is Bookshare. Bookshare is a free digital library for students with qualifying reading barriers, offering thousands of accessible ebooks. The rationale: Bookshare allows students with reading disabilities or vision impairments to access grade-level text in format that work for them. This is an INTAS Standard 9. My second one would be ClassKick. ClassKick is a digital platform where teachers can see student work in real time and provide feedback immediately. This tool supports students who need step-by-step assistance, frequent check-ins, or nonverbal ways to ask questions. INTAS Standard 6 assessment. And my third and final one is CoWriter. CoWriter predicts words as a student typer, helping them spell difficult words and construct sentences more easily. The rationale is this tool helps students with dyslexia, dysgraphia, and language delays. Writing prediction increases writing confidence and fluency. This is an INTAS Standard 4 content knowledge. Moving on to my classroom rules. Pretty simple. Be respectful, be responsible, be safe, follow directions, try your best. Try your best is the most important one. If you give your 100%, I know you're actually wanting to learn, and going 100% and giving me your all goes a long way. Clear rules help create a predictable environment where students know what behavior is expected. When students help design or illustrate the rules, they take ownership and more likely to follow them. INTAS Standard 3 learning environments. Onto my classroom procedures. In the morning, when they first get there, they would enter quietly, hang up backpack, turn in homework, begin the warm-up activity. Next, they would turn in their assignments. Students place work in the turn-in tray. Late work goes in the late work tray. My next one would be if they ever have to go to the bathroom, it would be a restroom procedure. Excuse me. Students raise their hand. I decide yes or no. And a student signs sign-out sheet. The thing that determines yes or no is kind of like if we're learning something really important right now, do I really want them to leave that it will affect them later when we're going over it again if they miss this part of the class. On to group work. You share materials, use inside voices, make sure everyone participates, clean up when done. Cleaning up when done is so important. These janitors, they already have to clean up the entire school, and then they go through and clean every classroom. As someone who enjoyed their janitors in high school, I would hate for me to be the reason because my kids can't clean up after themselves. And the end of the day routine would clean desk area, pack backpack, stack chairs, and line up quietly until dismissed. Clear procedures reduce confusion and help students feel more confident on that they know what to do. This is an INTAS Standard 3 learning environments. On to the consequences. This is my classroom consequence system. The first would be first reminder. It'd be verbal, a gentle reminder that helps the students correct behaviors, kind of to not have to embarrass them. Maybe pull off to them to the side, talk to them individually, try and get figured out. Next one would be reteaching the expectation. I would just calmly review the rule or procedure and tell us what the correct behavior is. Seat change or take a break, sort break areas. I would give them an area for them to chill out and let some energy out. I don't know. Or put them in a different chair might help the student focus better by maybe not being next to their friends or being on a different part of the room where they can see better. Fourth one would be parent contact. If the behavior continues, I'll just contact the parent. Hopefully, it never gets to that point. And then the last one would be an office referral. This used for behaviors that threaten safety or major class disruption. My positive guide / reinforcement I would praise them, say, "Oh my God, you're doing a great job. I'm so proud of you. You're doing way better." You maybe not be like, "Man, you're way better than yesterday." Don't say stuff like that, but you're doing a great job. I'm proud of you. Proud of you goes a long way. Maybe get some stickers depending on what grade I teach, because I am doing 4th through 8th grade. Maybe some 4th graders might want a sticker on their paper when they get 100, stuff like that. Class dojo points. This would encourage them to be in first, do more nice things. Caught being kind notes on me leaving them a note like in their desk when they come into class the next day. I'm like, "Man, I really liked how you stayed a little bit later to help stack some people's chairs that didn't." And then class rewards for teamwork, like a piece of candy or something like that. Rationale: consequences should teach, not punish. Reteaching expectations helps students learn better choices, while positive reinforcement encourages students to repeat their good behavior. This is an INTEST Standard 2, learning differences, and an INTEST Standard 3, learning environments. Now, finally, my classroom technology tools. I would use Class Dojo. This is a behavior management and parent communication app that lets teacher award points for positive behavior, kind of how I was talking about the consequences or the positive and reinforcement. Give them some dojo points for doing something really good and stuff like that. The rationale: promotes reinforcement, encourages students to track their own behavior goals. This is an INTEST Standard 3 learning environments. Next, I would have Go Noodle. This provides quick movement breaks to help students refocus, burn energy, and regulate emotions. I know when I was a kid, Go Noodle was so fun. That little burst of energy I could get out and then get back to learning made it all worth it. The rationale: helps manage transition to reset students' attention. This is an INTEST Standard 2 learning difference. And then the last one is Google Classroom. This is everyone knows Google Classroom. It's an online learning management system that organizes assignments, announcements, and resources. Rationale: reduces classroom chaos by giving students a place to find instructions, materials, and feedback. This is an INTEST Standard 8 instructional strategies. Supports efficient and encourages independent learning. Well, that is my portfolio. Thank you for taking the time out of your night, Professor, to watch it. I know you were going to have to anyways, but I just thought, thank you for teaching the class. You did a really good job. All right.